Hi traders, this is Aleks FX and I'm looking to take a short on the pound US dollar. This is a scalp I'm looking for, and price has moved up quite aggressively into a key level of resistance. You see this level right here has acted as support and resistance quite nicely in the past, and you see this big move up. So I'm looking for a sell into this area, and if we draw some Fibonacci's on here, we've got a 886 Fibonacci level that's sort of lining up in that area. So it just adds a bit of confluence to the zone. And if you look at the 5-minute chart, we've had the nice rejection off there. Price has found support and we've had a rally back up into resistance, where we've had a what we call a false break, which is basically a traders trying to break breakouts and then price is pushed back. So you see this rejection candle. What I've done is I've actually taken a short after that. That just shows the bulls can't hold the actual level. So the stop's above the high right over there. Just give it a bit of space for now. And what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for a move back into this area right over here. The base of support is about 9 pips into that level of support. So that's sort of an area I want to look at taking at least partial or half the position off. And then we'll see if we can maybe get a runner. So we've also got this little trend line in place here. Let's wait and see what happens. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to bring this platform up here and just change it to half. You see the volume is 10. I'll change it to 5 and I'll look at taking out half the position if we get into this area right here. So you see prices coming into that trend line now at the moment, so we'll wait and see what happens. As I said, we're in key resistance from the higher time frame. There's also a daily level which I haven't shown just yet, but let's see what happens. Alright, so price, you see it's built a little base at that trend line. Now we're starting to break, so let's see if we can get a close below this trend line and we'll get some risk out. So I'm just watching this very closely now. See if we can get my stop down shortly. I want to see if we can take some profits on this trade. So nice aggressive move down. So we can get the stop to break even here, and we'll just close that out. So we've taken half the position off. You can see it, half the order still remaining. That was for plus 9 pips. And now what I want to see is if we can get some renewed selling. If we get a retracement back up, I'm looking at this area here to hold as resistance. So we'll see what happens. This is really where I need price to hold if we're going to get a retracement back up here. So price is bouncing off this level. They're really little dealing levels where institutions deal from, so it's pretty normal to see price retrace like this. Our stop is above this level, so I'm pretty confident if price breaks here, then it's probably going to go above the highs or have a run at the highs. So we'll see what happens. At least we've taken some profits on the trade. So this is the area right here. We want to see resistance hold. You can see we're currently about just over 2 pips up. A bit of selling here. It's not heavy selling at this stage, but let's see what happens. So the trade is based on a higher time frame key resistance. We're not just trading a 1-minute chart here. We're actually trading the it's actually a daily and below level. So it's a daily hourly level of resistance, with obviously that confluence. And now we're just watching price action on the 1 and 5-minute chart. So this is really where I want to see the sellers come in at. Not much happening here, and normally when price does this, when it sits at level for so long, you normally see it pop up. But let's see what happens. All these dealing levels, you normally want to see selling sort of immediately at the area. So you see our price is really struggling. I think we may pop up to the back end of this trend line. Still no selling coming in. And the longer it sits there, the more the chance sort of moves towards popping up. Alright, so we're getting some selling here. Let's see what happens. Getting a nice close. That'll be good for the trade. Alright, so there's a close. A little bearish engulfing sort of candle. which is obviously good for this trade, being short. Prices continue to drift lower here, and we've got obviously this area of support that I'd like to see cleared now. Here's the 5-minute chart, and we've got a base down below us that I want to watch very carefully. In this area right over here, this is where I expect bounces about sort of a 15 pip range, so that will actually pay quite nicely if we get there. And 15-minute chart, I've got this base of support the price needs to clear, so I'm going to watch price very closely here. If I start seeing any weakness from the bears, I'm going to close this position off here. Currently 15 pips up, and you can see that little wick starting to move back up here, so closing this off if we don't see a push lower now. Alright, so I closed the position off. There's the trades dragged onto the chart. So we took half of the position off at support. Price then retraced, hit resistance, and came back into the next level of support. So we made a total of 11.3 pips average. I'm Aleks FX. Hope you found that helpful, and thank you for watching.